In 14 years of doing what I do, which includes a lot of one-on-one work, everybody in here can get a minimum 25% more effective. It's not run, 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 go, go, go. It's how good are you each step of the way. How many books did you buy on your profession this last year? You spend more time in the automobile than you do in front of clients. How many dollars did you pull out of your back pocket to invest on the inside of your head? You spent approaching $500 on the outside of your head this last year. Haircuts, perms, colors, shampoos, etc. How many dollars did you invest on the part that will really make you money? About 2 years ago, I caught a flight from Phoenix to Salt Lake City, about an hour and 20-minute flight. The guy sitting next to me must have been flying first class for the first time in his life. He thought it was some big deal. We didn't get a sandwich much bigger than this. He didn't like it. So he leaned into his call button, ding, ding, ding. Didn't come back fast enough, ding, ding, ding. Flight attendant came back, big smile on her face, and said, "Yes, sir, how can I help you?" He said, "This is really a bad sandwich. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself for serving such a bad sandwich." He was going to continue, but she picked up his tray and said, "You are a bad sandwich. You've been really a bad sandwich, and if you do this anymore, I'm going to come back and spank you." Walked away, the guy next to me went, "Ugh." On the way out, I said to the flight attendant, "One of the neatest things I've ever seen. You took the wind right out of his sails." This is what she said. "Sir, I store things like that up to get ready for people like that. Otherwise, they will get to me, and I will take it out on people like you." Uh-huh. You know what I got out of that? That we have to be asking ourselves, who am I hanging around, and what are they doing to me? I didn't say to look to the left or the right. Folks, let's say that you now sell $10 million. Or you're part of a group that's shooting for $300 million. And you want to be a bigger part of it. Who are you going to hang around? Somebody that's selling $1 million, that's been doing it the same way for a long time, or somebody that's selling 10 times that amount? If you're making $50,000 and you want to make $100,000 in earnings, who are you going to hang around? Somebody that's been stuck at $50,000 or somebody that's pushing way beyond $100,000? It's a pretty simple choice. Pick your role models carefully. Question: can one person in a group hold you back? And often I find that people in management and leadership positions don't do anything with that person. That's called cowardice. Managers, hold everybody accountable this next year for their best stuff that they have ever given each other and clients in their lifetime. Then 1.3 billion is a snap. Because most of the people that you compete against are pretty much the same today as they were a couple years ago. True or false? Folks, it's hard to find anybody that took the time to act on just a half a dozen or a dozen new business skills in this last year. Why? Run, 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 go, go, go. Get in the car, make a call. Get in the car and make another call. And often we've not taken the time to strategize, why am I really going there? How is this going to be the best sales visit I have ever made in my life? If they don't have teamwork at the hospital and great internal service, what's the chances of the hospital giving patients great service? Slim. So the hospital in Pasadena, California was having this challenge. They had too many employees parking across lines in the parking lot, meaning too many cars, not enough spaces. So in fitting with their culture of teamwork and having fun, this is the memo that they distributed. Employees may participate in a demolition derby that starts in employee lots each morning promptly at 9 a.m. after all the spaces are filled. Employees who do not participate will automatically be declared losers. Employees who park illegally one time will be warned. After 2 times, will be stripped and flogged in front of violators. And after 3 times, they're going to have to eat all their meals in the employee cafeteria. Look. Employees whose cars stick out in traffic lanes will have their rear ends painted red, and if they continue to park this way, we'll do the same thing to their cars. Folks, would you agree in sales and leadership, it's not what you say, but how you say it? And folks, when I saw this one, this is the message I'd like to share with you. When you read something that makes you laugh, cut it out. Have a little manila folder that's called newsletter file. And just keep dropping funny things in there. Because one of the greatest things you can do for a lot of people is help them have a good time in this stressful world. Is that on target? Is this a tough world? Do you hear the word price once in a while? You ever hear that in the recreation industry? Your price is too high. Help people with stress. Help people with their family. Help people with their department, their business. Just help people. Now this is the one that cracked me up. John invited his mother over for dinner. During the meal, Mom couldn't help noticing how attractive and shapely the housekeeper was. She wondered if there was more going on than met the eye. John told her, "I know what you must be thinking, Mom, but I assure you, my relationship with my housekeeper is purely professional." A week later, the housekeeper told John, "Ever since your mother came to dinner, I've been unable to find the beautiful silver gravy ladle. You don't suppose she took it, do you?" So John sent his mother a letter that read, "Dear Mother, I'm not saying you did take the gravy ladle, and I'm not saying you didn't, but the fact remains that one has been missing ever since you were here for dinner." You got an idea what's coming next, don't you? Several days later, John received a letter from his mother that said, "Dear son, I'm not saying you sleep with your housekeeper, nor am I saying you don't. But the fact remains that if she were sleeping in her own bed, she would have found the gravy ladle by now. Love, Mom." Now, let me share with you what I did. Firstly, that made me laugh so hard over coffee one morning, I almost spilled coffee on myself. I cut it out, and I ran about 10 black and white copies and shot it out to some friends, associates, clients, potential clients. It was the greatest response from any direct mailing I ever had, which was 10 out of 10. Even just acknowledgments by phone, email, fax. The one potential client, "Why don't you come see me?" If it makes you laugh, cut it out. Do something with it. It's called pass on good things in life. Your group should have a goal that it is the most fun place in town to work. If it's not, they should come lock you up and throw away the key. Because it's just about a crime. It's where we spend the bulk of our waking hours, true? When people love what they do and they're having a lot of fun, does productivity go up? Teamwork go up? Internal service get better? You betcha. Where's the downside to having fun? Now, one little example to show you how little it can take to separate yourself apart. My last corporate job, heading up sales and marketing, we had a sales lady in Boston that had been trying to sell something to a gentleman in Boston for 7 years, to no avail. Then I wound up in Hawaii at a convention. The gentleman from Boston and I got to play golf in the tourney together. Then he said, "Bill, would you sit next to me at the banquet tonight?" I was shaping my whole trip up. Then this fellow from New York City came and plopped down next to us. Folks, between me, born in the South, somebody from Boston and somebody from New York City, I didn't stand a chance. I couldn't think as fast as they were talking. The guy from New York was talking about 50,000 words a minute with gust up to about 75,000. It was blowing my hair backwards. But I got to do what we often forget about. Great communicating and great selling is great listening. Great selling is 3 things: asking great questions, plus listening intently to every single word. And males, sometimes we're not too hot at that. We don't just miss words, we miss sentences and paragraphs. So I was blessed. They're talking a mile a minute. I just had my little radar beams out, and then I heard the tick. The gentleman from Boston told the guy from New York City about his 15-year-old son and his new hobby of collecting unusual Coca-Cola cans. Bing. You see, I know that you have every single client, potential client's birthday and anniversary date. We've been doing that for 25 years. To the kids, the nuances, what makes the client tick, what's their mission statement, it goes on and on and on, right? So then I heard one of the little nuances. So I got hold of the sales force with this message. By Friday, I want unusual Coca-Cola cans from all over the world, full or empty, I don't care. Now, we had developed a culture by then. When we say no later than Friday, it was no later than Wednesday or Thursday. They came in from all over. I called our sales lady in Boston and said, give this guy another week to get uncovered after he's come back from the convention in Hawaii. Then get me an appointment. I fly into Boston. We go to the baggage carousel. We pick up 4 big boxes wrapped up with twine. Go in and see the client. The visit was kind of just okay. But then near the end of the visit, he said, oh, by the way, Bill, what's in the boxes? I said, oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I was really going, when is he going to ask? I said, Coca-Cola cans for your son. Bang! Out of the chair, pair of scissors, he pulled this little 6-ounce can off an Air France flight. And he said, how did you know? I told him what I'd heard. He said, wow, I don't even remember talking about it. Then we got our plant tour, met the rest of the executives, and after 7 years of trying to sell something at a price to somebody, we walked out with our first trial order. Now that was in December. Mid-January, this is the letter that I got. Dear Bill, I want you to know how happy we are with our new relationship. Is it still a people business, folks? Please increase that trial order to this amount. I've enclosed specifications and a trial order for a second item, et cetera, et cetera. P.S. Bill, I want you to know what I did with those Coca-Cola cans that you brought in for my son. I put 2 of those little 6-ounce cans off the Air France flight in his Christmas stocking with a note that said, son, there are 4 more boxes just like these under the Christmas tree. Bill, my son loved that gift more than the new Kawasaki motorcycle I bought him. Now there's 2 questions. One, who was the son's hero? Who was the daddy's hero? Sell recreation equipment at a price and treat them like neutrals. You won't come near the potential as to understanding I'm here to be a great business person, a servant, the role model of every salesperson that's going to wind up at that convention hall. And I need to focus on bringing them joy and value so that emotionally they want to buy from me. Men, we are logical creatures as compared to the female, more intuition, creativity, etc. Use more of that right brain selling and sales will go up. A couple more ads that I've seen in the classified section here in Arizona. Wedding dress only worn once, by mistake. See, even in the little $5 classified section, you'll see where somebody puts a twist on a $5 ad, and it draws attention. Complete set of encyclopedias. Never used. Teenager knows everything. And I was off traveling my brains out, traveling like crazy. And I want to tell you who kept me going. It was my role model. Just like you want clients to view your corporation, the managers, and the salespeople as role models. I went in the military at the same time with my role model. I went Army, he went Marine Corps. My role model is Lieutenant Cleve McCleary. You ought to buy his book someday. Cleve went for the whole deal. Infantry, second lieutenant's bars, Marines, Vietnam. He got all 4 wishes. One night, he and 13 of his men were up on a mountaintop, surrounded by 250 enemy. Cleve was about out of ammo. They had no medicine, no bandages, no water. He called for a helicopter rescue mission because very quickly he had 7 dead and 6 wounded. They were throwing rocks down the hill. It was nighttime. The enemy couldn't tell if it was a grenade or a rock, so that stopped their advance.